Hello, I'm Sean Smith, and this is Geek Talk Rants. Yes, I'm going to rant about something today, and hopefully it'll be funny, or hopefully you'll just think I need therapy and lots of it. I'm going to talk to you about a show that I absolutely hate. I have decided to finally film this after a while talking with my friends, and I've decided, yeah, this show is going to get its full and proper discussion. But before I go to that, I'm going to talk about where this show came from. Over in Japan, there's a brand of show called Tokusatsu, which is Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Now, brought over here to the United States, Super Sentai has become the Power Rangers, and that is a beloved show. Granted, there are a lot of goofy episodes in the original Power Rangers shows that just don't make a lot of sense. But we can forgive it because it's actually pretty decent. So then, Saban, who brought us the Power Rangers for a while, and then Disney brought it to us, and then he's back doing it, well, Saban decided, well, I'm going to try to adapt another one of these tokusatsu shows. I'm going to try adapting Kamen Rider. Which, today would be like, okay, and it has been done before with Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which wasn't that bad. And I'm not going to be talking about Dragon Knight, which is based on Kamen Rider Ryuki. I'm going to talk about Saban's Masked Rider. Saban's Masked Rider is based on the Japanese show Kamen Rider Black RX, which is technically a continuation of Kamen Rider Black. Black RX is actually really good. Saban's Masked Rider is really bad. And when I say it's bad, I'm going to give you the synopsis. Prince Dex, who is the Masked Rider, is from a distant planet where the dominant species evolved from insects. He is in a long-time battle with the Insectivoids and their leader. Don't ask me what the leader's name is, because I really don't give a shit. He comes to Earth and lands in the backyard of a family. Mom, dad, daughter, son. White father, Asian mother, blonde daughter, African American son. Mixed family, so let's not insult all the races. So instead of, I don't know, hey, let's alert the authorities that this alien's landed in our backyard. Hey, Dex, come live with us. You see, that's one little problem. Now, the other problem is Dex's companion that comes with him, played by Vern Troyer. Granted, I liked Vern Troyer as Mini-Me. He's done some actually interesting things. Furbus isn't one of them. Furbus is a small, looks like a mutated Furby. That's all I can say. That speaks in, the only thing that you really understand him say is Dex. And every other word is squeaks and squawks and gibberish and crap. Basically, he's a mutated lassie. Now, the main enemy keeps sending insectivoid creatures for Dex to fight. I can understand that. Now, the show probably would have been good if you didn't have Furbus. But then you realize how bad the acting is. You feel like a lot of the actors really don't want to be there. The acting is horrible. That's one of the main reasons I hate this show. In Power Rangers, a lot of the actors do want to try to make the scene good. But in Masked Rider, it was bad. I mean, really bad. one of the instances in this show, there was an episode where the father and the son decide to go on an exploration trip into some caves where they encounter butterflies that cause them to mutate. Right. Into insects. They're trying to turn them into insectivore army. So Prince Dex, oh no, I can't fight them. They're my brother and my father, who's never legally adopted me. Because that's a thing. Now, I'm trying to control my rage, but pretty soon it's going to come out. So trust me. So they decide to say, Furbus, go get help. So you're thinking, Furbus is going to run home. No, the little freaking creature gets into the van and drives it home. How the little thing touches the pedals, I never know. I don't want to know, because I'm sure that the laws of physics were broken inside that van. Now, he gets home. There's Dex and his sister. Still trying to wrap my head around that part, too. And they're like, Furbus, where's Dad? Where's so-and-so? What? They're in a cave being turned into insectivore creatures? Fuck you, Saban. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. So, he goes and saves the day. Blah, 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 blah. Give it him. Now, there's also, when Prince Dex transforms, they try to come up with a catchy catchphrase. Because, with the Power Rangers, he's like, the original part was, it's morphin' time. Everybody loved that. To the point where it actually carried over into a episode or a series of Super Sentai called Go Busters, that the devices would actually go, it's morphin' time. Which was actually kind of cool, and a lot of people liked that. But in Kamen Rider, they say Henshin, which is Japanese for transform. In Saban's Masked Rider Ectophase Activate. Yes, somebody get me a beer. Please, a beer. Alcohol was the only way I could sit down and watch these. I did. I actually sat down and watched every episode. But I'll tell you, the only thing that sticks out is the main character, because his name keeps being said a lot. Prince Dex, Prince Dex, 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 Dex. Shut up! I don't care! Now, when he transforms, he forms the Kamen Rider suit, which looks like a cricket. I can understand in Japan because a lot of the Kamen Riders are insect-based looking. Fine. I'm all for that. Even some of the newer series, the segmented eyes in the costume have stayed, and the antennae. I'm all for that. That's fine. That's perfect. Beautiful. I'm happy. In the original Kamen Rider Black RX, he's able to create a energy saber, which he uses to disperse the enemies. Fine. He's able to do a rider kick, which, you kick the monster and it blows up. Fine. In Saban Masked Rider, we can't have that. We can't have the thing being punched and blowing up. We can't have this thing use a energy saber and cut them to pieces and blow up. So what we're going to do is the energy saber is going to shoot a beam of light out of it, and it's going to destroy the enemy. Defa. In Black RX, he gets 2 power-ups, 2 transformations, where he transforms into Robo Rider, which has a more robotic look to it, and an a blaster weapon, which he uses and dispenses the enemy. He also has a form where he calls Bio Rider, which he turns into a liquid and is able to fight. Each one of these transformations looks cool. And Saban's Masked Rider he gets to Masked Rider Super Gold, which is the Robo Rider form, and Masked Rider Super Blue, I believe. It's so sad. It's so sad. No, and also in Black RX, you have the upgraded enemy that, like an evil rider, and his name, I'll forget his name. It's Silver Moon, I believe. Evil, awesome, great character in Black RX. In Saban's Masked Rider, oh, we're gonna turn Prince Desk's best friend into into this evil rider. Yeah, that's gonna work. No, it's not gonna affect the story one bit. Oh, you mean when, how about when he saves him and, and he so they can fight side by side? Well, they don't have footage of like that in Japan, so we can't use that. Okay, so we're just gonna put it in this one episode and that's it. Yeah, alright. Fuck you. Yeah, that's right. They only gave him one episode of a really awesome character that's in Japan for several episodes. Makes no fucking sense. And now we come to the One Piece I really hate. There's an episode where Texas Grandfather sends past Masked Riders to help Prince Dex, which is Kamen Rider the First, Kamen Rider the Second, Kamen Rider V3, Amazon, Stronger. And the names that they are given by Saban, that Amazon calls himself Stronger, and it's just so horrible. So, to wrap this up, if you decide to watch Saban's Masked Rider, you're going to need the following: a full frontal lobe lobotomy, a lot of Jack Daniels, and a lot of Jack Daniels. Because to really sit down and watch this show, you have to be drunk. It is the worst adaptation of a Japanese show here in the United States. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight was 100 times better than Saban's Masked Rider. That they were originally going to try to bring that over again, but they couldn't use Masked Rider, so they were going to call him Saban's Power Rider, which they haven't done, thank God. Because I don't think I could sit through that. I'd watch the first episode. Okay, let me see, why am I watching this horrible piece of shit? You didn't do it right the first time, Saban. Why are you trying it again? Stop it. Stop it. So that is my little rant on Saban's Masked Rider. I've been Sean Smith, and this is Geek Talk Rants.